Hey guys, happy Halloween! So Halloween is my second favorite holiday after Christmas, and this year it is even more exciting because it is the first day of the Sephora fall savings event, I think is how they like to call it. But I am a Rouge, so I was able to start shopping on Halloween, and it actually went live last night, the 30th, like quarter to 12. So I did place an order for pickup, and I already collected it. I did place a second order for pickup at a different store that I'm going to be passing later tonight while we're out and about. So there is one item that I've already ordered that I have yet to collect. So I thought I would do kind of a little trick-or-treat Halloween haul here, Sephora haul. And then I need to get ready for our evening festivities. So I'll be doing kind of a try-on haul / Halloween makeup get ready with me. So make sure that you stick around if you are interested in that and seeing what my Halloween costume will be. But I thought I would start off with the haul because honestly that's what most of you are probably the most interested in. I did film a recommendations video, like top 10 recommendations. And that included some general tips and my wish list. I just need to finalize the edit on that and upload it, so I'm not sure which of these videos will be up first. But if you want to see my recommendations and what else I was or am considering, as the case may be, then be on the lookout for that video. So I did order the bulk of what I plan to purchase, but there may be a few other goodies that pop up. So I did get the Rhode Barrier Butter. I'm very excited that Rhode was included in this sale. Haven't used this yet. I don't necessarily want to use this as a makeup prep step because I'm not quite sure how it's going to work under makeup. I did my skincare, SPF, and all that a while ago, but I haven't done any makeup, obviously. So that is the texture. So it feels nice. It's kind of like a thicker version of their glazing milk almost. So yeah, excited to try that. I'll probably use this tonight, probably. I did get the Jisoo Honey Infused Lip Oil in Sticky Toffee. So this one, like I said, smells really good. I might try this on in a little bit. I'm still tempted by the cocoa scent, so we'll see if that makes its way into my cart. But yeah, that is Sticky Toffee. It's nice. It has kind of a cushy balm texture to it, so I like that. So yeah, happy to have that in my life. And then I did pick up the Urban Decay Moondust Quad. I'm still kind of hoping that they release the blue one over here. But I haven't seen anything about that yet, so I don't know. Sometimes they release specific palettes for Ulta and some for Sephora. But that is the Quad. I just kind of picked it up for like reference purposes more than anything else. I think I have all of the permanent Moondust shades as well as a lot of the palettes they've released in the last few years. So if you have any specific like swatch comparison requests, just let me know. I did also just pick up the new e.l.f. Fine as Fleck glitter eyeshadows. So I need to figure out if these are dupes of any of the permanent Urban Decay shadows. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that. But yeah, that's kind of a project. And then I did also pick up, I'll go ahead and talk about the Patrick Ta duos. I might incorporate one of these into my look. This one looks like it had a sticker on it or something. So they said that they didn't have the fourth one, whichever it is. So I have Always on Your Mind, In Your Dreams, and Slow Burn. So they said they didn't have one of them in stock. When I went in store to pick up my order though, it looks like they were all in stock, at least one of them. So I don't know. sometimes the online inventory isn't like entirely accurate. I'm just kind of checking to make sure these are all intact. But yeah, those are quite pretty. So I might, like I said, incorporate one of these. And I do have all of the previous ones. So again, it was kind of a, have these for reference. I purchased quite a few glitter shadows last year. And that one is Slow Burn. So the remaining one I need to pick up tonight. I did also get the, what is this called? Major Dimension eyeshadow palette in light. So I'll probably use this as the base of my look. So that is what that looks like. Some nice kind of basic neutrals, nothing too exciting. I did swatch the blush and lip gloss duo, which I think was one of the first items to sell out online. Actually, I kind of just scrolled through this morning to see what was selling out, just out of curiosity. And that seemed to be sold out online. They did have it in store. So I swatched it. I'm still, I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced, and I don't know that the color is something that I need. But of course, when something is popular or goes out of stock, it makes me want it more. And then I did get the One Size Boucle Silk Powder in Fair. So I'm curious about that as well. It has a nice push closure to it. These don't have a mirror though. I wonder if people who like to take powder with them would care about that. And then I did get the Say All Over Powder Brush. I might try this with that powder. Really, you should wash new brushes before you use them, but 9 times out of 10, I don't bother. So it's pretty fluffy. I don't know that this is a need. I just kind of wanted it. So yeah, so I have that other Patrick Ta duo to pick up. Let me just make sure I got everything I was supposed to. Yeah, I think that was mostly it. So the Kulfi lip balm that I saw wasn't in stock at either location that's near me, so that one I will probably have to purchase online. So there is probably going to be another online order. I don't know if I'll necessarily do another haul video for that, but we'll see. We'll see how crazy things get. So that's my haul. So let's play with some of these items. So I'm not going to tell you what my costume will be up front here. I thought it would be kind of fun as the look unfolds, if you kind of guess. So there may be some Easter eggs along the way here. So I'm going to remove the lip oil, like so. So my hair is obviously slicked back, but it can't hurt to have a little extra insurance there with the headband. And I think I'm going to do my eyes first, just in case I get any fallout from those Patrick Ta shadows. So I have these old eye masks from Ulta. I don't think they sell these anymore, or at least they changed them. But these are nice because they have this kind of fabric-y texture. I purchased so many of these when they were clearancing them out that I don't know if I'll ever have to purchase eye masks again, but if I do ever find a good replacement or dupe for these, I'll let you know. So I'm going to start off by priming my eyelids with the Hourglass Veil Eyeshadow Primer, like so. And then because my lips are feeling a little dry, this is one of the things that I recommended in my recommendations video. So I have the 2 limited edition scents in the Edam Lip Balm. I'm going to go with the Croissant Au Beurre.
Beurre. Beurre is French for butter.
I think is the correct pronunciation. So this is mostly clear, a little bit of gold shimmer. That was another thing I was kind of surprised to see sell out so quickly, was the set of the 5, I think, permanent shades in the lip balm. So I don't know if that will restock, but it certainly was popular online. Okay, so we have these shadows to create kind of a basic matte look. Go ahead and take off the mirror. I do kind of, it's like a Star Trek, what are those things called? whatever they had in Star Trek is kind of what this reminds me of. But it does feel good in the hand, and I think the mirror is big enough. With these duos, I always felt to make the mirror usable, you had to kind of turn it on its side, which is certainly doable. But I think I said a while ago that I would have preferred if they had lowered the price and took out the mirror for me personally. So taking my Sigma Large Fluff E50 in that lightest matte shade. I never purchased the larger matte palette that he did. So if I had, maybe I would have skipped this little guy, but an all matte palette can be really handy, especially one that's very neutral. All right, so that is the base color down. And then I'm going to take my Sonia G Classic Crease Brush. I did just buy a new one of these in the Beautylish gift card event, but I haven't washed that yet, so I think I might just stick with this one. So it looks like the three shadows on each side kind of have a similar tone or undertone to them. So I don't know if I want to kind of stick with one column. So I'm going to go in with the slightly like pinker and mauvier shade. I think this was one of the shadows that kind of sold me on this this palette. One of my critiques of the Hung Van Gogh palette was that the kind of matte transition shade leaned a little yellow for my taste or skin tone, so I like that this one is a bit kind of mauvier. So this is how I start most eyeshadow looks. And then when that is fully blended, I'm going to take my Sonia G Mini Booster and take that shade down at the bottom here. So looking ahead and just putting that in the outer corner just to add a little bit more depth. And after I've done my base, I'll come back and do some shadow on the lower lash line as well. So now that I've kind of applied equal amounts of product, I'm going to take my Classic Crease again and maybe go into that medium middle shade. Just gently kind of go over that. It is Halloween after all. I think that's one of the reasons why it is one of my favorite holidays, because it's just all about dress up, really. So that cream shade. Do you guys watch Nobody Wants This? I think is the actual title. Was it Adrian Brody, Kristen Bell show on Netflix? So they do an episode about Purim, I think. So the shorthand for that is, I think, Jewish Halloween. So in the show, Kristen Bell's mom is played by the mom in Hocus Pocus. And if you recall in Hocus Pocus, the original, all the parents are going to this big Halloween party where the three sisters are playing I Put a Spell on You, or singing I Put a Spell on You. And in the movie Hocus Pocus, the mom is dressed up as Madonna with like the cone bra and everything. And she also dresses up as Madonna in the Purim episode of Nobody Wants This. So that's some nice cocktail chatter for you if you need it. So I think it's time for glitter. I made this pumpkin chai. I thought it was going to be caffeinated black tea, but it's just herbal. It's very disappointing. It was a tea bag. It wasn't like I made it from scratch. Okay, so for the glitter, I think I want to go in with the super light one, In Your Dreams. So I think that's what I want to do. What is the one that I'm missing? I think it's like the peach one. When I went into store a while ago, I swatched them next to the ones from last year, which I had already purchased. And I know they had the diamond sparkle last year, but I kind of want to do one of the new ones. So this one they say is diamond sparkles, but the one last year, We Need Better Lighting, they described that one as pearl sparkle and golden sparkle. The white shade there was a little bit more maybe icy white, but we're going to use one of the new ones. So I think for kind of long-term success here, I'm going to take, I have some NYX glitter glue. Honestly, I wouldn't care too much if there was sparkle falling down my face tonight, but I guess for the sake of giving this makeup a fair shot, I'm just going to apply a little bit of this, like so. So just tapping that on. It's really just kind of a more tacky primer. So I'm not going in with like a super thick layer because I don't want to mess up the eyeshadow. I still have the complaint that these all look the same, the outer component. So just taking my ring finger here and going into the lighter shade. I saw that kind of viral video, I guess, or picture of someone who took a lot of these different shades and like cut them up into, I guess, quarters, so that you had, I think, 8 shades in one of those, and I would actually kind of be on board for that. So I think that's pretty. For shadows like this where I'm using my finger, just to kind of get into some of the nooks and crannies, I'm going to take a Rephr 28 brush, no, Rephr 21 brush, and see if I can just pick up some of that. This is a dry brush. I guess I could also try the kind of silicone tool that I got with the Danessa Myricks palette. But I think this does the trick. I just want kind of even-ish distribution, and just try to kind of round that out. All right, so now is time for eyeliner. It should come as no surprise that I'm doing a bit of a cat eye, feline flick, whatever you want to call it. I am not skilled in the ways of liquid eyeliner, so I think I'm actually going to take, I'm going to start off with the Lisa Eldridge eye pencil in Cinder Smoke, which is more of a charcoal. I was tempted to pick up her liquid eyeliner, in part just because it fit the theme, but I wasn't sure it would get here in time anyway. I know she has a holiday set with the kitten liquid liner, whatever it's called, and her Kitten Lash mascara. So we'll see. The kind of mascara, though, is not really my favorite, so might pass. Ooh, that's bright. So standard kind of technique here for me. If you want to kind of give the effect of a cat eye without doing the full on. Okay. I think that works for me. It kind of gets the point across without doing kind of full on liquid. If you want an alternative to like the Lisa Eldridge, the Moira Micro Tip liquid liner is really great. I might see if this is still good. Honestly, I should probably chuck it at this point. But you can always kind of map something out. and then just go over a bit with the liquid. I don't know if I'm going to do lashes. I'm not inclined to because they just bother me after a while. But yeah, I think that reads is a little bit more dramatic without being as difficult. Erin Parsons has a really great video about how she does her eyeliner, which is really quite dramatic. And it involves a lot of like different formulas and Q-tips and kind of removing things. I don't feel like you need to just swipe on a liquid liner and have it be perfect from the get-go. There are ways you can kind of achieve that look, but still make it kind of easier on yourself. Okay, so for mascara, of course, I'm going to use, if I can find it, my Holy Grail Tarte Lights Camera Splashes. And I'm going to use my Surratt lash curlers. This is a relatively new tube. I think I just opened it like a week or two ago. So the newer tubes have a little bit less volume. Obviously they kind of dry out a bit as you use them. So I usually do a couple coats. And I always feel like when I do have liquid liner, because the liner itself is so impactful, I almost feel like I need to wear lashes, but like I said, it's just not something I necessarily enjoy. Okay, so I think that's good for now. So I'm going to remove these under eye patches, and yeah, there's definitely like some sparkle on them. So I think with glitter, sparkly eyeshadows, you just have to kind of accept that as par for the course. I'm going to use a little bit of the Make Reverse emulsion kind of as a hydrating step. So now that I've made my face red from rubbing it, I'm going to use the Sigma color corrector, not sold at Sephora, but it's now sold at Ulta. So I'm just going to go in with the deeper shade with my finger. I was going to mention I have tried the Danessa Myricks, what are they called? Color Fix sticks. And as beautiful as they are, I think I still get creasing. So no matter how good a cream formula is, they just tend to crease on me. So people who say to opt for that as opposed to like one of these Patrick Ta duos doesn't really help me much. So let me go wet or dampen my beauty blender, and I'm going to apply the foundation I recommended in the Sephora sale. So this is the Patrick Ta Major Skin Hydrolux Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation in 2 Rosy. And I like to just dispense them onto the back of my hand and then just kind of dot it around. Usually I end up dispensing more than I need to. Then use the Beauty Blender to blend. So it's fairly light coverage, especially applied this way, but most days I don't need or want too much coverage. And then usually whatever I have kind of left on my hand, I might just build up a little bit kind of in the center of my face where I have more redness. And a lot of times I'll use like the side of the sponge because it kind of gets in there a little bit. So it does look pretty dewy, but I do set most days. Okay. So once that is applied, and I think I might need makeup remover to remove that eyeliner swatch. So once that is applied, I like to do concealer. So another recommendation from my video was the Kulfi concealer. I have it in the shade Badam, however you say it. So, usually just go like so, and sometimes I feel like I get darkness on the inner corner, and I might just kind of throw some where I have some redness elsewhere on my face. And then I'll take the BK A506 brush and blend like so. So I'm just doing tapping motions and kind of going in the nose, like turning it so you have that like pointy end. Really kind of get in there, just kind of blend that. And when I feel like most of it's been blended out, some of that redness on my chin, then I'll take the Beauty Blender again and just kind of lightly tap over it to make sure it's kind of pushed in, kind of pick up any excess. And if I see any areas that I need to just... Okay, so I thought I would use the Haus Labs Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm in Profile. I think I purchased this during the Sephora Friends and Family sale. It's not my favorite contour product, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it for the sale, so I thought I would just kind of demo it for you. So I'm going to go a little bit under the chin. I think I generally do prefer a liquid contour because I find it easier to blend. But I'll show you kind of how this looks. So taking a BK 101 and again, just taking the tip of this like so, and then kind of gently trying to tap this in and blend it without totally removing the underlying foundation. So as far as liquid contour, I've really been enjoying the Sachu Stain at Ulta. I feel like that's kind of taken the place of what the KVD used to be for me. So now that that is applied, I like to do that before I powder, obviously. I'm going to set before I do blush and bronzer. So this does look a tad bit more yellow in person than it did online, but we'll see how this goes. So taking this, say, powder brush, so it looked a little bit more, I don't know, kind of tapered online, but ooh, wow, that that was just like a cloud of powder. All right, so let's see how this does. It might not be enough to set my forehead. That does tend to be the most emollient part of my face. So I'm not sure if that did too much. Taking my Sonia G TF3 brush, so I am going to set my under eyes. See how this does. I don't think I'm wearing sunglasses today, so I don't have to be too careful. So this is, I think, marketed as a finishing powder rather than a setting powder, but because I have dry skin, I often just use one powder. I don't use multiple. It's also more flattering to be matte on camera, if I'm being honest. So what I might tolerate for just kind of every day, I might mattify more on camera. I'm gonna use some of the Charlotte Tilbury, kind of more in my T-zone, and just set that down a bit more. So I think the one size is pretty for what it is. It's just maybe not what I need in this moment. Okay. Maybe just go a little bit. Still need to do my eyebrows. Okay, so I think for eyebrows, Make sent me their brow gel. I have both the clear and the cool taupe. And I already used the cool taupe, which I'm about to use again. And I really liked it. So it has a nice kind of wand to it. I think it has some, or one side is longer than the other. And it's just a good kind of cool toned color. Oops, got a little bit too much there. So trying that again. So yeah, there was a little bit too much on the tip. And I haven't tried the clear one yet. But it does definitely add a lot of look. Yeah, you might just want to kind of wipe off the tip before you go in. So I do like it better than like the, I think ABH one. So keep playing with that. All right, so for under the eyes, I'm gonna go back into the Patrick Ta palette and take my flat definer brush. I don't get any kind of kickback from Sonia G or Beautylish, by the way. I'm gonna go into that shade. These are just my favorite brushes. So I know I have like Shop My like affiliate links to them, but that's just to kind of make the link shorter. I don't earn any kind of commission, which is very sad, but anyway. Okay, and then I think I'm just gonna do that. Keep it fairly light and then go in with the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. Probably need to replace this. It's getting a bit long in the tooth. Okay, and then just add a little bit of color and dimension back into my face before I do lips. I'm going to take my favorite bronzer of the moment. This is the Diffused Bronze Light from Hourglass. And for this one, I like to take the BK, or not the BK, the It Cosmetics number 150 brush from Ulta. So, I didn't specifically recommend this bronzer in my video. Why are you not focusing? Yeah, I didn't specifically recommend this bronzer in my video, but I would have if Hourglass, I guess, weren't also having a sale. It might not be going on as long, but they currently have 20% off. So if you are not Rouge, that is definitely the place to buy it. You can also buy this at, why are you not focusing? You can also buy this at Ulta. They also have a travel size. And I think this particular shade, Diffused Bronze Light, is also in one of the holiday palettes. I'm not sure if it's the deer one that I have or a different one. It might be the deer one. Okay, so for blush, so I think just to mix it up a little bit from last video, I'm going to use the Glossier Blush in Gale. Same brush here. I'm going to be doing a red lip, so I just want to keep this, I guess, fairly neutral. I've seen a lot of people recommend the Rhode blushes, and I don't know, can't be bothered with a cream blush and a stick anymore. This one is really pretty. All right, so time for the lip. So like I said, I'm doing a red lip, and I think from drinking my tea or whatever, that lip balm has kind of worn off. So I am going to use Lisa Eldridge Velvet Ribbon shades. So I have her lip pencil, which badly needs a sharpen. So now that I've sharpened that, I'm just going to kind of start to map out the shape. So really I'd be doing this with my like elbow on the desk. Okay, so after I get the lip shape to where I want it, I don't know why red lips are the kind of sign of effortless French chic when they're such a pain. Makes your teeth look pretty white though. And you can always like clean up the edges with a little cotton bud. I like the pointed ones for that, or Lisa Eldridge's pinpoint concealer stick is really great as well. This is one of the reasons why I got this. Kind of sharpen that line. Lisa does have a really great tutorial about kind of getting a good lip shape, especially with red lips, I think. So I'm gonna take a clean Rougher 21 and just kind of feather and blend that. So to make this last as long as possible, I filled in the lips, obviously. I'm gonna go over it with the liquid lipstick in Velvet Ribbon, and then I'll probably do some of the actual lipstick as well, or at least bring that with me. And you probably want to do the old finger trick. So while that is setting down, I'm going to do, I guess, the most Halloween part of this look. So I need a cat nose and whiskers. So I'm going to use this little, I think 24/7 pencil from Urban Decay in Zero. Zero, I think, is the name of the dog in Nightmare Before Christmas, so that seems kind of appropriate. So hopefully, so this still feels nice and creamy. I was debating whether to do a gel like pencil or a liquid, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm just more comfortable with gel. So I'm going to try and just draw a triangle. Oops. All right, we need to fix this. Okay. I guess the good news is, like, the nose is not too difficult to redo, makeup-wise. How do we look? I think I need, so this is the brush I use to clean up the concealer around the lips. I can also just take, like, the concealer brush I used and just try to make sure it looks a little bit more seamless. Wouldn't it be funny if someone did a like Halloween tutorial of how to best do a cat nose based on your nose shape? Okay. So now that that's, I think, in a decent place, I am going to try for the whiskers here. So I think I just want kind of, I should do some highlighter actually. All right, I'm just gonna use the white from this Dior palette. This was one of the older ones, but all right, so now let's do some whiskers. Okay. I think that's as good as it's going to get. So obviously part of the costume is feline themed. I have this little like lacy choker type thing that I almost put on at the outset, but I think this little bell would drive me nuts. If I can get this on. Okay. So choker, so we're a French kitty. And then I have this set of fake pearls. So leaning into a bit of the Coco Chanel of it all. Hopefully my mic isn't too badly affected. So I have the bracelet on, the earrings. Was that the only other jewelry I had to apply? I think so. So the last part of this costume is right here. So the idea is that I put string in this and wear it as a little sign. My husband is basically just going to go out as normal, but he's going to wear a beret. So I'm kind of a cat burglar slash furloughed Fed. So kind of like the Louvre heist rolled into American politics is kind of the theme. I feel like there's a like Washington D.C. kind of meme humor account that I follow, and one of those, I'm sure they do this for other cities as well, but one of them was like, I hate Halloween in DC. And then it's like, what do you mean you're the ghost of Chevron deference? So if you know, you know. But yeah, that's the final look. Let me know what you guys are planning to be for Halloween, or what you were. Just to apply a little bit more of that. So whatever you do for Halloween, if you celebrate or not, I hope you guys have a very safe and happy, fun weekend. And if you are shopping the Sephora sale, I hope you find some goodies. And until next time, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. And I will talk to you soon. Bye. I might fix this whisker. It's bothering me. So I'd already taken my mic off by the time I filmed this little clip here at the end. But basically, I just wanted to show you that I did change the nose design. This entire video is funny with the Halloween references. But yeah, so I removed that nose and tried my best to kind of take my complexion back to the starting point, and using the same eyeliner. So I'm basically just doing the tip of my nose. I googled some pictures on cat makeup. I'm also filling in my beauty mark there, so, and then connecting the tip of my nose. It actually lasted fairly well. I think there was one occasion early on in the night where I kind of rubbed my nose or whatever, but for the most part, it stayed pretty well. So I can insert a picture of what it looked like at the end of the night. But even though I had a pretty sizable burger, which kind of messed up my lipstick, and I had to reapply that, the whiskers and nose stayed intact. So you can, I guess, file that away for next Halloween if it's helpful. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.